Hey, welcome everyone to the Church Explained podcast, a conversation to grow your leadership and build your church. Yeah, definitely. It's getting the content out there and getting it out there in the right way, I guess. I mean, you've mentioned a few times there, Chandler, it's about not just sharing like the church's information of what's happening, but actually speaking into people's lives, touching on those pain points in people's lives. I guess it's key as well, because if we're just putting out the same content and it's only information, then only the church people are going to get that, really, aren't they? So there's got to be something more of just touching those pain points as well. So yeah, valid points there, and maybe something for churches to think about.
Yeah.
If they're hiring somebody, maybe they need to think through and think differently.
Yeah, I mean the next question, and I've obviously I follow you on social, on Instagram specifically. The next question is, if a church could only focus on a few things to get its message out to the wider world, where should it start? I wondered if you'd talk about Google and like the business profile stuff that you've mentioned quite a bit on your social recently.
Yeah, so this is something that I've, reviewing, auditing, whatever, churches, online performance profiles, all that stuff, online presence. Most churches ignore their Google business profile. Now, it's a business profile, but that is the easiest way to increase your Google rank for people to find you, and it's super simple to do. And it's really more of an algorithm thing than it is like creating content. Like, you don't necessarily have to create content for it. You just have to be consistent on it. So basically, I mean, there's more details. I've created a Google profile guide that you can get in my Instagram profile link for free, and it basically walks you through what to do. But the main thing is consistently upload photos, get reviews, and post updates, and make sure that your profile is filled out, the description, the service times, your hours, your website, phone number, all that stuff. Make sure it's all filled out and updated. There's some other little things that I'm not going to get into, but that is the easiest way to increase, to help people find you online. And I'm talking about like I'm substantial. Like I'm like, if you can be consistent on that, like every week, and uploading high quality photos from Sunday. Whatever you post on Facebook, post on your Google Business profile. Ask your team leads for reviews, and on that, the approach is like, okay, how do you ask people to review your church? I just tell them to share your story, share your testimony, share your experience. What do you love about this? What do you love about your church? And I have churches that they do it on Sunday mornings, at team rally. And, once every 2 weeks, they'll have their team leads text, hey, could you guys, leave a review on Google? And then also getting reviews on Yelp and Facebook. But yeah, Google Business Profile, I'm telling you, it is like, you can't sleep on it. And it's such low hanging fruit.
Great.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to just mention it, because I think, as we were thinking, and I knew we were going to be chatting, just looking on your profile and looking on your social, that is just one of the things that is just like easy to do. Yet probably is one of the top places that people are going to search for a church. Is Google. And so straight away that detail can just help some churches.
And the other thing just to mention there is like, and you flagged it already, Chandler, like if you're a charity, a non-profit, and probably different language depending where you're listening in the world, but of course Google give charitable ads. And you can use those for your website, your content, and we use that, don't we? We get great success from some of the stuff we put out, if it's targeted properly. So that's another big thing. Maybe churches don't know about that. I wonder if you could just speak into that a little moment or two.
Yeah, and I'm not sure internationally how things, I'm US based, but basically Google, they, through a organization called TechSoup, they give you Google Ad Grant, Google for profits. You get basically up to $10,000 a month in free Google Ads. Now there are some limitations and there's some requirements, but you can utilize those, and they they do help. And not only that, you get free Google Workspace, you get discounts from companies like
Definitely.
Adobe. I mentioned Otter, and then I always tell churches too. It's like if you have your 501c3, any place you buy stuff, any software, you've got to
Yes.
ask them, hey, do you guys have
Yeah.
discounts for 501c3s? Because most people do, they just don't advertise it. And I mean, there was
Yeah.
seasons that I started diving in, and it's funny, I found out about all this stuff because we didn't have a big budget, and so I was like, I got to figure out how to make some stuff happen. So I started digging around, and started realizing like, wow, there's a lot of discounts and different ways to save money and get access to tools for free. And so yeah, it's a huge opportunity for any church to go out there. And here's the deal: it's not hard if you know how to, if someone can do some research and
Definitely.
follow directions. Google tells you how to do everything. That's the funny thing is they're not hiding anything. They're giving you all the tools and all the information to do things right.
Yeah, and I think it's about asking the question.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite keen on that.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit like you, Chandler. I'll always ask the question, "Hey, we're a non-profit. Can you give us some discount, or can you give it for free?" And we've had things given
Yeah.
for free,
Yeah.
and we've had discount as well. But
Discount,
if you don't ask, you don't get. So we want to encourage leaders, like be bold, ask the question. You're a charity or a non-profit for a reason. It's not taking advantage.
Yeah.
It's there for use, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I think just changing tact a little bit.
I was getting
and
excited there.
You were
That's
getting excited about getting free things. He was gonna
Free
ask you,
Hey,
Chandler,
listen,
for
I'm
some
all-
free stuff there.
I've got my discount hat
I'm
on.
the guy. Like if you ask me, like if someone compliments a shirt or jacket, I'm not going to tell you necessarily where I got it from. I'm going to tell you how like discounted I got it from. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
shirt, oh, dude, it was on sale for 75% off. It's like, why am I saying that? That's just how I am.
Well, come on, what's your question?
Yeah, I was gonna just talk
Change
about
it up.
social media a little
Let's
bit.
talk about it.
And obviously, the ever-changing social media, where the next thing comes out and it changes, feels like on a daily basis, not on a monthly, even yearly basis. So I guess for a lot of churches, they would see that and would just think, so why bother? I wonder if you'd speak a little bit into the benefits, even some of the losses with that, and maybe even some of your experience. I know you touched on earlier of Instagram with reels and carousels, but just how churches can help to keep up with the ever-changing nature of social media.
Yeah, this is just kind of something that I've been processing and kind of banging the drum. I want to encourage any pastors out there at whatever level. I know there's a lot of complexities to it, and I say that because I've experienced it when it comes to social media and posting content. And I think sometimes our insecurities, what are people going to think? Are they going to think I'm trying to be whatever, it's saying, like, I've gone through those things, like, and if it's not for you and you don't want to listen, great, like stay in your lane. But if you are considering, I want to encourage anybody that you feel called, you are a pastor, you're preaching, you're teaching, you're writing, like you want to move and spread the message of gospel forward. Like, I want to encourage you, like, create content, like use this platform to spread what God is speaking and showing in the revelation, and build his church and build people, encourage people, add value to them, help people. And so if there's anyone listening out there that's like, I don't know, I'm worried about what people think, I just want to encourage you, just start creating content, whether that's if that's a blog, if it's a podcast, just do it, but commit to it and be consistent. Because I'll say this with churches, with anything, is it's got to be a part of the plan. You just got to be consistent with it. And you're going to put out stuff that's maybe no one that doesn't get a bunch of likes, whatever. Like, half the time when I post stuff, I don't even look. Like, I'm not even, unless it's a post that all of a sudden people start DMing me and stuff. Like, that happens every once in a while. But I mean, there's stuff that I create that I'm like, man, this is great stuff, and it's like 20 likes. It's like, oh. And then there's stuff that I put out that I think I'm just trying to be kind of polarizing, and it blows up. And I don't go viral. I don't really care but again, it's not about the likes. It's not about the comments. It's
Right.
about, am I helping people? Am I putting out content and information that someone like, if it helps one person, that's all that matters, right? If
Yeah.
one person gets saved, if one person gets encouraged, that's
Definitely.
that's all that matters. So that's just encouragement to say for someone, man,
Definitely.
remove yourself and put in place and think about, it's like you said, the why. Why are you doing this? Who can you help? Do you have things that can help people? And we all do, because we have the greatest message on earth, and that is the Bible, and it's all the content you need.
Yeah.
It's all there. So get on there. As far as churches go, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think it's and I've heard both sides as far as like, social media is bad, it's a waste of time, and blah blah blah. I get it, but it's a space, and if someone doesn't try to fill it in compete, not really compete, but creating and putting stuff out there and trying to reach people there, then who will? Like, someone's got to do it. And so I think it's important that churches are consistent. They're creating content that is helpful, that it's engaging, that it's encouraging people, reminding people, bringing awareness to their communities that there is a church, there is a place that people can come to and find. I think it's important. As far as losses go, I mean, I don't I don't know if there's really a downside. I only see the benefits if you're actually creating good content and it's helpful, even if it is just for your church. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to say, like, if you're not, whatever, but if you can be consistent, it's a benefit, even if it's not that great of stuff.
Yeah.
The power of consistency is still huge when it comes to just even the algorithm side and the people finding you online side.
Yeah, that's great. And
No, yeah.
consistency and having a
Yeah.
game plan is the thing I think you said there.
Yeah.
And I think if leaders can do that, have a game plan, and even if it's only a small game plan,
Yeah,
it's better
just
to
start
start
somewhere.
somewhere, isn't
Yeah.
it, really? And get
sure.
that moving. So, Chandler, we've got one more question, and then we've got some quick fire questions. But before we get to those, the next question is around this idea. What do you think the future looks like? And I know it's a bit of a tricky question, but obviously you're in this environment, you're in this space. What's the future look like, do you think, when it comes to churches using social media and marketing?
It's one of those questions you're like, am I going to say this? And then, like, 2 months be like, that was stupid.
Hey, listen, you can put it down as you were being polarizing.
No, I would say that if the churches and the pastors that want to embrace this space, creating content, they're gonna see a lot of benefit, and with that benefit there comes issues, and we're all human, right? But the power of consistency and the potential of reach, just organically, you add in advertising behind that, boosting posts and running ads. The churches that are being consistent, they have a game plan, they're utilizing all the channels, they're gonna reach a lot of people. And I'm not saying I think there are churches that don't do it well that are still reaching people, and that's great. But this digital space isn't going anywhere. It's only getting bigger. And when you look at the growth and the power of YouTube and Google, you've got to lean into it, and I believe that you need to, at some level, invest in it. And I know that's hard for a lot of pastors, depending on the age of the church, and who your elders are and who's on the board, and they don't understand, like, why are we going to spend, $5,000, $2,000 a month on, ads and video editors and creating, content creators. Like, why is our church hiring content creator? Like, or whatever level that is. But I think if churches will start to lean into it, and especially pastors, because here's the deal, even with brands, people they don't necessarily want to buy brand, or they don't want to follow brands.
Yeah.
They want to follow people. So it's how can you personalize that? And I think even pastors seeing themselves and creating the content and putting it out there. I mean, I'm constantly with my pastor, I'm like, you got to put out more content, not just for our church, but for yourself, because people want to engage with people, not just some organization.
No, I think
That's where I'm at.
Really good in it. Obviously, yeah, it links to your previous point on getting over the insecurity.
Definitely.
Because I know you can feel that. You can feel like, oh, I want to put this out there because I think it'll help people. But then the question is, well, who's going to listen to me? All of that insecurity can come out.
Oh, dude.
But you just got to, push past that and believe,
Definitely.
again, remind yourself of the why. That if this adds value to one person, it's been worth it. And
I'll say this,
great.
no one, for those that are going, you may be struggling with that. Because I remember back in the day when people started posting stuff, like preaching clips or whatever, it was like, oh, they're just trying to do this, or they want to be this, they want to get speaking gigs. And there are people out there that do that. Like, I don't know your heart. Like, you've got to, the truth is like, you've got to, your motives have to be right. And I don't know
Definitely.
what the motives are. So, but the truth is like, get over that. No one, at least most people, anytime I see a pastor that's creating content and putting stuff out, I'm like, dude, don't stop, keep going. Like, keep creating. Don't listen to if anybody even says anything, I don't think they will, but if they do, I guess that is a downside is for pastors and churches. The digital space is not friendly. Like, it can get, people are brutal online. All these keyboard, whatever they call them, keyboard ninja, keyboard warriors out there. Eventually you're going to get someone that's going to leave a nasty comment and shoot you a DM. But guess what? That's like good. Like, it means you're doing something right if you got people that are loving the content and hating the content.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, bro.
So we're ready for the quick fire questions?
Let's go for it.
Let's
Fire.
go for this as we wrap up today. Hey, Chandler, it's been great to have you. So
Yeah.
here we are. What are you most excited about at the moment? It could be anything.
Oh, I'm excited at the moment that my daughter loves golf. We just put her in a golf camp. We're going to put her in a golf summer camp, and I hope it pays for college one day.
Come on. Yeah. What are you most challenged about?
Challenge about, man. I'll say excited and challenged. Starting your own business, going out on your own is a challenge. It takes a lot of faith. And, I wake up some days and I'm like, this is awesome. Some days I'm like, what am I doing with myself? Like, I'm an idiot. Like, what's going to happen?
Very good. So on your top 2 book recommendations and why?
Book recommendations. This is so. Anyways, so the one book that I would say that had a very big impact on me, and that I recommend usually to younger leaders or people that are, is Dale Carnegie's How to Win for Influence People.
Yeah.
That book, that book single-handedly changed my outlook on people and how to approach people. I would say second book. Oh Lord. Anything John Maxwell. I'm trying to think of another. There's a book called what is that one? Yeah. Oh, well, Keith Ferrazzi, he's got some good books called Never Eat Alone is a good one. But yeah, that's probably what I would say. But How to Win Friends, Influence People, like
Your top
that book.
list.
Yeah. I usually read that about once a year.
Yeah.
Right. And last question, quick fire question. Who inspires you the most in your world? And we take Jesus as the prerequisite, so you can't say Jesus.
Oh, I love Christians, dude. We just are so predictable. The greatest book that I like is called the Bible. I mean, I know we're on a podcast about the church, but I had to mention that in case anyone's. Anyways, person that inspires me. So I'm going to give a couple of shout outs, and this is going to be more for like we're in the space that we're talking about and people that I like. Right. I look to. So, Think Media, Sean Cannell, and then one of his main guys is Omar Takari. Anything with tech, videos, creating content, YouTube, social, I just whatever they're pouring, I'm drinking. And then when it comes to graphic design, logos, branding, my guy Josh Whiting with Bright Coal is an absolute genius. It's crazy, actually. What's his name? Brady Shearer from whatever just did is doing like a whole series on him, his logos, and like those three guys right there. If you follow them and the content they put out and what they're saying, they are gonna you're gonna get a lot of information. And those are the guys that I send stuff. Like if a church comes to me and they need to rebrand, it's Josh and I working together. Like I'm gonna have him do it because he's one of the best. So those would be the few people.
Brilliant, and we'll give a big shout out to those guys as well, and maybe stick their links in the
we can
show notes as well. We'll put those in. Hey, Chandler, it's been so good to have you on the show. What about them? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me. I'm on all the social channels. Most of my handles are at Chandler D. Boyce. You can go to freechurchmedia.com and download everything you want for free, like free. There's no upsells there. You can. I've got a website if you're looking for some marketing help called the churchcoop.co. And then reach out to me. I'm a real person, and I answer my emails and my DMs. So if you have questions, if I can help seriously at all, please let me know. I've got some free resources out there that can help your church and get you guys on the right path and create that plan. But yeah, guys, it's been a blast, and I love meeting new people that are in the same world, and love getting to help churches and pastors. Man, it's one of the best things that we get to be a part of, and love what you guys are doing. And if you're listening, make sure to check out Icon Resources. We haven't even talked even more about that. We need to connect some more, because I mean we're like doing the same thing, but it's like we got the British version and the American version. Like a little bit of coffee, and you guys are a little bit of tea. Like.
Brilliant. Well, Chandler, it's been so good to have you on the Church Explained podcast, and I want to thank everyone for listening to the Church Explained podcast. Don't forget to support us by subscribing, sharing, leaving a review wherever you're consuming this content. And as Chandler said, we do have free resources at icon.church/open, where you can get free resources for yourself and for your church. But we look forward to seeing everyone next time on the Church Explained podcast. We'll see you soon.